Ready when you are, Marcus.
So I'm doing play-by-play.
No, I'll do it. I got you. Yeah.
Washington. Hitting seventh and playing third base, number 12, Danny Velez. Hitting eighth, the left fielder, number 5, Kaylee Berry. Batting ninth, the first baseman, number 9, Michaela Cummings. And in the circle for the Hornets today, number 18, Hannah Shields. At this time, we ask you to direct your attention to the flagpole in center field and join us as we
Hey, they're getting ready to do the national anthem.
the brave men and women of our armed forces with the playing of our national anthem.
Whoa. Hang on. They're doing the national anthem, Marcus. So if you just want to bring us up to that or wait till after.
Thanks.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Hornets' Nest for DSU softball action. They'll be taking on the leaders in the MEAC North today. Morgan State comes in at 7-1. Yesterday, the doubleheader. I'm Chris Moore, joined alongside Tay Calloway. Tay, doubleheader yesterday. Morgan State won the first game in extra innings 2-1, and Delaware State needed a big comeback. They scored 6 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning yesterday to win 9-8. Obviously, Morgan State yesterday was their first loss in the MEAC play. So Delaware State playing, one of the best teams in the MEAC North today. Obviously, this is a big one. How big would it be for them to get this win?
It's very important for them to get this win because currently they're sitting third in the MEAC North. The Lady Hornets came into the season projected to win the MEAC North. They're 2 games behind Hampton, or 3 games behind Hampton and Morgan State for the lead in the MEAC North. So winning today would be very important for them in this conference.
Yeah, opportunity to cut that deficit, as you say, behind Morgan State at least. To 2 games. And like Tay said, if you follow Delaware State softball, the ladies come in having won the MEAC North 3 consecutive seasons. They were picked to do it at the beginning of the season in the coaches' poll for the 4th straight season. And obviously they've got some work to do. 3 games behind the 2 leaders. We get set
Let's play fast pitch.
to kick it off. Damali Young will step in, lead off for Morgan State. Starting pitcher for the Hornets is going to be Hannah Shields. Hannah comes in with a 4.7 ERA, 6-9 on the season. And she starts off with a fastball up and out of the zone. And pitching really been one of the problems for the Hornets. You look at the difference in the starters today. For Morgan State, Amy Begg comes in with a .63 ERA on the season as Hannah Shields gets a ground ball right back to the pitcher, and Young will ground out to lead it off. But that's you see the big difference between this team. Begg, the starter for Morgan State, .63 ERA. Shields, 4.7. Hornets going to have to improve in the circle.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see how our Lady Hornets bat against Begg today. As you said, she leads the she has a very low ERA in .63. So I want to see if our batters can help our pitcher out today, get her some runs up on the board and make her comfortable on that mound.
Run support always important. Baseball, softball, doesn't matter. It's always easier to play defense when you've got runs behind you. It's going to be Catherine Vosper in for Morgan State. Catherine hitting .450 on the season, and she ropes one down the left field line. It's going to get all the way to the wall. Vosper going to stand up at second base with a double. Sabrina Quarles tried to cut it off before it got to the wall, couldn't get there. And Catherine Vosper's excellent season continues.
Yeah, I was just about to mention she's batting for .4 or .450 on the season, so she came into the game hot, and she starts the game off right with a double down the left field line.
And that's Catherine's fourth double on the season. She's also got a home run and on the season, and it doesn't get any easier for Hannah Shields. Adriana Alvarez will step in for Morgan State.
Alvarez batting .346 on the season, so as Chris mentioned, this lineup got some hitters on it, so we'll see what Delaware State can do today when it comes to defense and trying to strike these batters out.
Alvarez, the first baseman, that one tipped in for a strike. 1-2 the count. One out here in the top of the first. Shields trying to protect this lead. Adriana Alvarez in, as Tay said, hitting .346. This one fisted back to the pitcher. Shields throw over to first. And so Shields, a big out there. Now I got 2 outs.
You do got a runner on third, though. This is very important for the Hornets to get out of this top of this inning without any runs scored.
Yeah, they bring in momentum. They lost the first game 2-1 in extra innings, and then the second game was the one where they had their big comeback. So they come in with a lot of momentum off of yesterday's doubleheader. And like you said, it would be big to start this game off without allowing a run and allow the offense to get back in. It's Anissa Morales stepping in for Morgan State, hitting .304 on the season. No home runs, just one double. That one just misses inside to even the count up at 1-1. Shields fires, misses that one outside. 2-1 now the count.
Big pitch here. She doesn't want to get behind the count 3-1.
Shields has appeared in 24 games this season. She started 13. This is her 14th start. That one in for a strike to even the count at 2-2. But she's had 5 complete games and 2 shutouts so far in the season. So been a little bit inconsistent so far, but this would be a big time for her to get going and step up for this Hornets team. And another ground ball back to Shields.
That's 3 of them for that inning. It started out pretty good besides that double.
So 3 putouts if you're keeping score at home. A double in between by Catherine Vosper, but we'll head to the bottom half of the first inning. 1 hit, no runs, no errors. Top of the lineup due up for Delaware State. I need this, man. I need this. You could use my phone.
I was gonna bring my laptop so I can watch ESPN, but I forgot my login.
They're gonna win anyway. It's all good.
for the Hornets, second baseman Jasmine Malgoza.
All right, bottom half of the first inning. Jasmine Malgoza will step in and lead it off for the Hornets, 265 hitter. And for Morgan State, it is Amy Begg. We talked about her, well on her way to an all-conference season for Amy Begg. Begg out of New Zealand. And boy, did they at least give you one great softball player. Begg, .63 ERA. She's 9-1 on the season, 8 complete games. She's got a save. She's been dominant. Only allowed 46 hits in 72 innings this season. So Begg is going to be a problem for the Hornets. That one, a slider missing outside 2-1. Tay, what's going to be important for the Hornets if they're going to get to Amy?
Well, they got to get some runners on base first because, as you mentioned, she's only allowed 46 hits in 72 innings, so she's not very fond of giving up base hits. So,
This one hit hard off of Begg's glove. It's going to deflect to the shortstop, Browdy, but she could not make the play, and so that's a leadoff single for Malgoza. You said it.
Just as I spoke it up, they got a runner on first base now. Let's see if they can capitalize and get some early runs in.
Need base runners always, and Sabrina Quarles now will step in. 231 hitter, but she's only struck out 8 times this season, so she will put it in play. And Hornets going to need her to here. She will lay down the bunt.
Very smart. Now you got a runner on second and only got 1 out, and he's got 2 batters up at the least to see if you can get a run in with the runner in scoring position.
So a sacrifice bunt there for Sabrina Quarles. And now, like you said, 2 opportunities, now at least 2 opportunities to get a base knock, drive the run home. And now Mika Lumsden will step in, the best hitter on this Hornet team, highest on the team in average, hitting .297. She's got 2 home runs, 7 doubles. So Lumsden.
And what I have noticed that as I watch baseball, watch softball, when you get into a pitcher's head early, it affects them what they're throwing. If you get some runs up on them early, they start to get a little flustered, start to make some mistakes that they usually wouldn't make, and that's very important today as they're going against Morgan State's best pitcher.
1-1 the count, 1 down here in the bottom half of the first inning. And Lumsden swings through that one. That looked like a good pitch to hit.
Yeah, it did. And look, she took a big chunk out of it, but couldn't get some contact on it.
Not enough. Lumsden third on the team in RBIs this season. She's got 13 of them. And now 2-2 the count as that one misses high. And Malgoza, exactly what you look for out of your leadoff hitter. Gets the base hit, hard hit up the middle. And then Quarles with a good sacrifice bunt. And this one looped into right center field. It's going to get down. So Lumsden gets the hit. Malgoza had to freeze, ball in the air. Wasn't sure if it was going to get caught or not. So Malgoza not going on contact, but it drops. And now first and third for the Lady Hornets here in the bottom of the first inning.
That's exactly what they needed. First inning, got 2 runners on base, 1 in scoring position.
Kalia Flournery now will step in for the Hornets.
And she's batting .280 on the season here, so let's see if she can bring a score home for us.
Almost anything in play here will do as long as you don't ground into the double play. Flournery with an excellent opportunity to get the Lady Hornets out in front. And again, Amy Begg, one of the best pitchers in the MEAC Conference. This would be a huge start to the ball game for the Lady Hornets. That one fouled straight back.
Good thing we got that fence in front of us, right, Chris?
Well, we've already got 1 broken window on this press box, but not 2 now.
And Flournery does have 2 home runs on the season. A home run here with the 2 runners on base would be a huge, huge start to the game for the Lady Hornets.
The 1-1 pitch misses high for ball 2. And so Begg Little bit shaky here early on. Hornets, couple of base hits.
And that's what you want to do with a great pitcher like that. You want to get their confidence levels down. You want to get them to start second-guessing some stuff.
This one chopped back to Begg. Begg will throw to third. Malgoza gets back, and they will get nobody.
Bases are loaded now. 1 out. You got to be careful of the double play, but anything in play will bring a runner home. Let's see what goes on.
And that is a mistake from Begg. Of course, you want to check the runner, make sure that she's not taking off for home, but ultimately, once she stops her feet, you've got to go back to first base and get the out.
Immediately, yeah. She kept her eyes on third there instead of turning and getting it back to first.
And now Desiree Moreno will step in with the bases loaded, just 1 out. And Moreno, the second highest on the team in average, hitting .293 this season. 9 doubles, a triple, and 4 home runs, tied for the team lead. That one misses out of the zone for ball 2.
2 straight balls here for Begg. She looks a little flustered out there.
Moreno and Vanessa Washington, the 2 players on the team with 4 home runs, and guess who's on deck? So
sounds like Washington might be on deck.
Two RBI hitters in this one popped up, and that not the at-bat you wanted from Moreno, as that will be a fly ball to the shortstop, or a pop-up, excuse me, to the shortstop, Michaela Browdy.
For the Hornets designated player, Vanessa Washington.
And now Vanessa Washington, the designated player for the Hornets. 2 down here in the bottom of the first inning, and now a big opportunity for Morgan State to get some momentum, get out of this bases loaded 1-out jam. Could really let Begg settle in.
Yeah, this would be big if they got the bases loaded here. It's very important for them to get at least 1 run in. You don't want to go into the second inning leaving 3 runners on base.
Yeah, this is that one in for a strike. Begg's too good of a pitcher to give up this big of an opportunity.
Yeah, I agree. Once you have the opportunity to strike, you can't waste these because she doesn't give up many.
Washington, the junior, out of California, swings and fouls this one straight back.
She's batting .258 on the season, 4 home runs, 12 RBIs. She has a chance to up that amount here.
Yeah.
3 runners on base. Yeah, it would be
big opportunity.
Yeah.
But 1-2 the count now with 2 outs. Begg will deliver and misses this one high and out of the zone for ball 2. On deck, should we get there for the Lady Hornets, Donnie Velez, the third baseman. And swing and a miss. Washington swings through that one, and Amy Begg gets out of the jam. So the Hornets get 3 runners on, but fail to score 1, and that will take us to the second inning. The score still 0-0 here at the Hornets' Nest. I guess we got to make sure we keep up with the count.
Yeah, because they're not. Yeah.
First pitch misses inside for ball 1. Corinna Lara in for Morgan State to lead off the inning. That one misses high and inside for ball 2. Lara hitting just 200 on the season. This is her 11th start, and she rips this one through the left side.
Just a little bit in front of the glove of the shortstop in the left field for a single.
Flournery tried to get there, but even if she'd gotten there, I don't know that she would have had a play at first base.
Laurel looked like she was moving down that line. I don't think she would have got there in time, Chris.
And so now Danielle Pitt will step in for Morgan State. She a 212 hitter. And she squares around, fakes the bunt, and that one misses outside from Shields. Pitt is her 15th start on the season. She's got a double. Driven in 4 runs. And now this time drops a bunt. Shields bobbles it. And wild throw to first base. It's going to get into right field. Nobody covering home. And the run will score.
That's unfortunate for the Hornets there. Soft bunt to the middle of the mound, and just a wild throw to first results in an error and a run score for the Lady Bears.
Yeah, from that angle, you can't miss the throw down the baseline. Second baseman Jasmine Melgoza there, but again, she's not a first baseman. And that's a tough play to be reaching across the base runner to try and make the catch.
Yeah, it looked like the throw was just a little bit outside the base runner's head, so she had to reach across the body of the base runner and catch that, and that's what resulted in the misfire there.
And so Delaware State fails to take advantage of the runner here. Bunt at first, bunt back to Shields. Morgan State getting aggressive. They lay the bunt down. Shields throws to first base. And they send the base runner Pitt, and she is thrown out at home.
Big break for the Hornets there. They had another runner in scoring position, and unfortunately they were able to get both the outs on the play there. That's big defense, especially after the error.
Yeah, confusing play call there. I wouldn't have necessarily gone in that direction.
Yeah, especially with only one out on the
none.
They had no outs.
There's a double play.
And you had a
just like
runner
that.
in scoring position. You had no outs, and now you're stranded. You don't have any runners on base now. You now have 2 outs. So that's a very interesting call from the base coach there. I'm not sure what he was thinking, but fortunate for us.
Hornets will take it.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it.
And now Stormy Zizik in. She will ground out to second base. Zizik still looking for her first hit of the season. This is just her 5th start. But Morgan State gets a run on 1 hit and an error. And so the score 1-0. We'll head to the bottom half of the second. Velez due up for the Hornets. All right, bottom half of the second. Danny Velez to lead off for the Hornets.
Off the second for the Hornets. Third baseman, Danny Velez.
Velez batting 231. Velez batting 231 on the season. Let's see if she can get a hit to start the Lady Hornets off at the top of the second.
Velez, senior out of Chico Hills, California. She chops this one up the middle, and it is through for a base hit.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, bottom of the second. I said top. The top of that inning went by so fast, I forgot that it even happened.
Well, a leadoff single there for Danny Velez, so another inning and another leadoff runner on for the Hornets.
Let's see if they can take advantage of this one.
Kaylee Berry now will step in, hitting 184 on the year, left fielder. And she the slap hitter for the Hornets. The bottom of the lineup, the left-hander. Going to try and chop something low and beat it out at first base. And so Barry 8th, and then Michaela Cummings, the 9-hitter, and then back to the top for the Lady Hornets. And now she fakes the bunt. They get Velez caught in between bags, but the throw dropped by the first baseman for Morgan State, Alvarez.
Lucky break there for the Hornets. She was caught in between first and second. Fortunately, the throw was dropped, so she was back on first.
Yeah, they were Barry. I mean, in that kind of play, you got to make sure you get the bunt down.
Yeah.
Barry unable to do it. Count 1-1. Nobody down here in the bottom of the second inning. Barry pulls the bunt back. Velez stealing this time. Throw in the center field. So Danny Velez will steal second base. Not caught in no man's land this time.
Yeah, that throw was, I don't know who she was trying to hit. I don't know if she saw a fly out there in center field she was trying to hit, but throw wasn't close. She could have walked in there standing up.
So now, runner on second, nobody out. Another opportunity for the Lady Hornets. And Barry takes this one up and out of the zone. Barry swings through that one and misses for strike 3. So Hornets. So I mean, you can only do this so much. A good pitcher, you've got to take advantage, move runners over.
Second straight inning, they have someone in scoring position. See what they can do. They got at least two batters to bring this runner on second home.
Cummings fouls that slider straight back. Michaela, the first baseman for the Hornets, just hitting 167 on the season. Got 14 RBIs and 2 home runs though this season, so she certainly makes her hits count. She's got 5 doubles, 2 home runs. So half of her hits have been for extra base.
Cummings, a freshman out of Owing Mills, Maryland. It's a bright spot for the Hornets that you see. She's hitting particularly well for a freshman, so we can see if she can get a hit here and bring this runner home.
Yeah, she's already at the point where you'd be happy with her extra base hit percentage. This one skied very high in the right field. Play made out there by Young.
Yeah, no sun for that one to get caught in today. It's real cloudy here in Dover.
Tamale Young, the right fielder. And yeah, you said it, a cloudy day here at Delaware State. Still fairly warm, a little bit of humidity, but nothing too bad. Quite comfortable.
Now batting second baseman Jasmine Melgoza.
And now Jasmine Melgoza will step in. She had a single her last time at bat. And here takes the first pitch in for strike 1. 2 down here. Hornets down 1-0. Taking on the first place MEAC North Morgan State Bears. And again, they split the 2 games yesterday. And Melgoza fouls this one quickly in the hole. 0-2 now.
Let's see what Beg dials up here.
Begg delivers this one, swung on, blooped down the left field line, but foul. And that the one advantage you see. Danny Velez already around third with 2 outs. You're going on contact. Had the Hornets been able to go on contact in the first inning, they would have scored a run. If you remember that blooper in the center field,
Right.
Malgoza couldn't go right away. But here, 2 down. So if Malgoza can just find a hole somewhere, an excellent opportunity for them to tie the game. We get a quick meeting at the mound. Larry Heinlein coming out to talk to his pitcher. Morgan State just getting a few things in order. But 0-2 the count, 2 down for Amy Begg and Morgan State. Jasmine Malgoza at bat for the Hornets. Pitch delivered.
Another foul ball there.
Probably a little high, but a good job from Malgoza with 2 strikes. Making sure she's fighting and staying alive. Still 0-2 the count.
I can't see Begg allowing too many more runners on base for Delaware State, so I would
especially the leadoff hitter.
Right, exactly. That was the second time in a row that's happened. So let's see if she can.
Malgoza gets this one off to the end of the bat, and she will fly out to the first baseman Alvarez. So that will end the bottom half of the second inning. Hornets get a hit, but fail again to score a run. We'll head to the top half of the third. Caitlin Williams will lead it off for Morgan State.
We're going to try this. I'm going to. She only has 4 pitches and they don't break. They don't really break. Yeah, no, they don't really break. Yeah, she has a rise, a fastball, a curve, and a straight. From what I've seen, I haven't seen her throw a drop ball yet. No, their other 2 pitchers have changes.
Leading off the third inning for Morgan State, third baseman Caitlin Williams.
Top half of the third gets ready to get underway. Caitlin Williams, the third baseman, skies the first pitch into right field. Play made by Sabrina Quarles.
Quick out for the Hornets there. It's a good start to the inning.
And now that will take us back to the top of the lineup. Damali Young
Now batting for the Bears.
grounded out to
Right
pitcher
fielder,
Hannah
Tom
Shields
Clark.
in her first at-bat. Shields delivers. Young drops the bunt.
That was close.
Yeah, that was a good play by Moreno, but you see the speed of Damali Young, drops the bunt. Moreno got out of her stance and to it quickly and fired a pretty strong throw, but they will call her safe at first base.
I will say both pitchers looking pretty good today. They're looking pretty sharp. Besides the wild throw to first, it still be 0-0 here today. So
Yeah,
We'll
Shields hanging in. Begg one again. We talked about one of the best pitchers in the MEAC conference. Shields hanging in, and the Hornets' offense has had opportunities, just have failed to take advantage to this point. Catherine Vosper in for Morgan State. She had the double last time. Lines this one hard through the legs at first base. Will get into right field, and Young will go first to third. Vosper going to try and get to second, and they've got her caught in a rundown. And so a wild sequence there.
smart play there. You don't want anything crazy to go on and let that runner from third come home.
Yeah, just chase Vosper back to first base.
Yep.
Michaela Cummings, though, that one was hit hard. I'm not sure if they will call that a hit or an error, but right through the wickets at first base. And that allowed Young to get to third. And so first and third now with one out. And this one hit the second base. And the run will score. That actually, very smart base running by Vosper to freeze. Didn't allow herself to get tagged. Forced the second baseman for the Hornets, Melgoza, to go to second base. And by then, time's out.
Yeah,
Can't get the runner
she
first.
hesitated a little bit,
Yeah.
actually. She saw her hesitate, and she hesitated herself. So that's, like you mentioned, very smart.
And so now Anissa Morales will step in for Morgan State, now up 2-0. Just a runner on first. That one misses outside. Or excuse me, catches the corner for strike one, so that'll even the count at 1. 2 down here in the top half of the third inning. Morgan State now up 2-0.
Very important for her to get out of this inning here. Don't allow any more runs to come home. Got a runner on first. But we do have 2 outs. So I'm interested to see if she can get this batter down into the bottom of the inning. And short grounded to shortstop. And she's out at first. Man.
Play made. Good job, Tay. Your play-by-play future is bright. That'll do it for the top half of the third inning. Morgan State gets another run on 1 hit and 1 error. That will take us to the bottom half of the third inning. Sabrina Quarles will lead it off for the Hornets.
There's only 6, right? 6 innings?
7.
7.
Used to be a one-arm pitcher in Major League Baseball. Jim Abbott,
Threw a no-hitter.
Michigan. He said most of the time the Angels, I believe. Yeah. So he can catch it. Glove on his arm. I guess you could call it. Leading off the third for DSU right fielder Sabrina Quarles.
Bottom half of the third inning, Sabrina Quarles will lead off for the Hornets. She had a sacrifice bunt in her first at bat. And Hornets now down 2-0. And Quarles skies this one back behind the plate. Play made by the catcher Laura. And so first 2 innings, Hornets had leadoff runner on, but not here in the bottom of the third.
This reminds me of the game played yesterday. Hornets out hit the Lady Bears 8-4, but were only able to bring 1 run home.
Got to take advantage of opportunities. Lady Hornets not doing that thus far. And now Lumsden will check in. Will step in, excuse me. Different sport. And take that one out of the zone for ball 1. Lumsden singled in her last at-bat. She was the hit we were talking about, a little bloop single behind the second baseman. that Malgoza just couldn't be aggressive base running. Wasn't sure if it was going to get caught or not. And it fell in for a single. So Lumsden 1 for 1 today. That one misses way up and out of the zone for ball 2. And you can see Begg, I think she's a little bit frustrated with the way, her day has gone. Surprisingly enough, hasn't given up a run, but she doesn't seem to have her best stuff.
Yeah, a lot of high in the zone pitches coming through. Seems like she's missing on her targets.
Lumsden fouls that one back, but that's a sign of a great pitcher. She doesn't have a .63 ERA.
For no reason.
Yeah, exactly. That's about getting through when you don't have your best. That's the sign of a good pitcher. 2-2 now the count. Mika Lumsden, that one misses. And that will run the count full to Lumsden again. Highest average on the team thus far this season. Right around 300. Begg will set and deliver this one chopped to second base. Throw over to first, play made. And quickly 2 away here in the bottom half of the 3rd inning for the Lady Hornets.
If you're Delaware State, you're looking for Lumsden, one of your best hitters, to start something up for you for the inning. She's batting .297 on the season, so if anybody's going to get the bats chopping for Delaware State, it would be her. As you said, short grounder, and now we have 2 outs on the inning.
Shortstop Kalia Flournery will check in. That one misses step in. That one misses down and out of the zone for ball 1. That one misses down. Again, I don't think Begg liked the call. But a ball no less, 2-0 the count to Flournery. And she's got 2 home runs on the season. That one misses inside, catches the zone.
Yeah, Flournery's got my lucky number on. She has 14 on, so I foresee a home run for her today.
Was that right?
Yeah, I feel it. I feel it in the air. She swung for one right there.
Well, nobody on 2 outs. You'll see that sometimes hitters take the approach of going for it with nobody on and 2 outs, but she swings through that one. Now 2-2 the count. And that one swung on and driven deep into left field. And that one is gone. Are you kidding me?
What did I say? Hey, 14's a lucky number. It's lucky.
I have absolutely no words for what just happened.
Hey, well,
at the words of Tate Calloway, 14's a lucky number, and Kalia Flournery.
It ain't my lucky number for no reason. That's a good number right there.
You need to start coming to more games for Kalia's sake. Her 3rd home run of the season, and that will cut the lead in half just like that. Fastball in the inner half, and Kalia saw it coming, got around on it, and drove it over the left field fence. And so how about a little bit of momentum now for the Hornets?
Definitely. Let's see if we can get some more runs in. 2 outs, so. But they have to be happy with the one that they got because, like you said, Begg, ERA .63.
Yeah, you're already going to raise her ERA.
Yeah.
But how about it? You get runners on the first 2 innings, including a bases loaded in the first. Nobody scores this inning with 2 outs. Flournery drives one over the fence. And now steps in Moreno. Moreno's got 4 home runs in the season. She lines this one sharply into center field for a base knock. And so a little 2-out rally going for the Hornets. A home run and now a single. And now Vanessa Washington will step in. Oh, excuse me. They're going to go with a pinch hitter. Jordan Casey will step in for the Hornets, hitting 180 on the season. Oh, excuse me.
And what I'm seeing here is it seems like Begg's only given up 1 home run on the season. So
2 now.
or 2. Well, yeah, now so she's not very fond of giving up homers. So
Well,
that's,
most pitchers aren't.
yeah,
But
so
Jordan Casey hitting for Vanessa Washington, the freshman out of Fredericksburg, Virginia, and trying to keep this 2-out rally going for the Lady Hornets. This one misses down and out of the zone for ball 1. Catcher Desiree Moreno, the runner on first base. That one in for strike 1. Jordan takes it.
yeah, I'm sure Delaware State has made note of how big this game is for them. Loss would make them would make Morgan 7-2 and Delaware State 10-4 in the MEAC.
It would cut the deficit behind Morgan State to 2 games. Obviously, Hampton, the other team, at 7-1. Looking at the schedule really quick, the 2 teams, the Delaware State won't play Hampton or Morgan State again. So this is their last opportunity to kind of, in a sense, control their own destiny against one of the teams ahead of them.
Yeah, you don't want to really put fate in the other team's hands. You want to put it in your hands. You play to win, and you play to.
They've played Hampton once this season, lost 2 of 3 down there, and this their lone meeting with the Morgan State on the season. That one misses inside for ball 4, so Casey steps in and draws a walk, and so the 2-out rally will continue. Danny Velez will step in, and we will get a meeting out at the mound.
He's going to try to see what's going on with his pitcher there. She must not look like herself because a lot of wild, erratic pitches, kind of high, real close in the zone. Let's see if he can get her calmed down and see if we can get her out of this inning, but let's hope not. So we see if we can get some more runs up on the board.
And this is unquestionably his ace. You look at some of the other pitchers they've got. Erica Hawkins, 6.89 ERA. Cabria Arnold, 6.97. Aaliyah Stone, 7.11. So not a ton of pitching depth on this team for Morgan State. So Amy Begg certainly who he's going to lean on. And so I don't expect her to go anywhere anytime soon in this game unless the Hornets really start to get to her. And now Danny Velez will check in or step in. I continue to say check in. I've got to work on that. I've got things to get better at.
Don't we all?
But Velez in now, and she will take ball 1 out of the zone. So Begg misses again, and the 2-out rally continuing. Looked like we were going to have a quick inning, and then Tate said we were going to get a home run, and sure enough we did. And a single and then a walk. And now Velez in a 2-0 count. The ideal hitter's count you want. 2-0, Velez looking for one she can drive, and she does drive it, but foul.
That she did, yeah, just a little bit outside of the third base line there.
Between the legs.
That might have brought that runner on second home if that stayed fair.
Excuse me. Velez 231 on the season. She did have a single in her last at-bat, so she's got 12 RBIs on the season. She's got a home run, so Hornets have the right hitter on at the bat, and this one fouled. It will get out of play to even the count at 2-2. Velez, the senior, Chico Hills, California.
I think that's where the ball family's from, Chino Hills, California.
Oh, jeez, I'm not talking about them. At least not the dad. The kids aren't bad.
No, not bad at all.
2-2 pitch, up and out of the zone. That will run the count full to Velez. She's got a stolen base in this one as well, so Velez would love to come through for her team, though, here. Full count, 2 down. Khalid Berry on deck for the Lady Hornets. This one fouled off, and that one will get out of play as well.
She's trying her best to keep this count alive.
The more you foul off, the better your opportunity is to get a mistake from the pitcher. Excuse me. Hornets, if nothing else, they have definitely made Amy Begg work today.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot harder than she's had to work for plenty of her appearances this season. And this one driven hard into center field. It's going to get over the center fielder's head. That's going to score at least a run. Around third comes Casey. The run will score, and the Hornets, everything coming with 2 outs here in the bottom half of the third inning.
I knew they wouldn't leave too many more runners on base.
Yeah, well, we talked about you can't give up opportunities if you're the offense, but at the same time, if you're Amy Begg, you can't continue to give your opponent opportunities. The Hornets taking advantage. And so we've got a discussion going on between the umpire and the assistant coach.
A little bit more than just a discussion there.
I think they're arguing that Jordan Casey didn't step on third base. But the ump calls are safe. Hornets get 2 runs on the double by Velez. And we'd be remiss to not point out the mistake there made in center field by Catherine Vosper. Did not take a great angle at that one in center field.
Yeah, she was already playing very shallow in center. That one, sharp liner just to the right of her. She didn't, like you said, she didn't take the best angle, allowed the ball to get over her head, and allowed those 2 runners to score.
And so this inning started off with a fly ball or a pop-up back to the catcher from Quarles, and then a ground out to second base from Kalia Lumsden. And then since then, everybody getting it done for the Hornets. Flournery with a home run, Moreno a single, Casey with a walk, and then Velez, the 2 RBI double to center field. And just like that, the Hornets now with a 3-2 lead, still in the bottom half of the third inning, and they've got a runner in scoring position. Barry takes this one outside for ball 2.
It'd be even better if they can get another run up on the board. Like you said, mentioned earlier in the game, run support is very, very important when it comes to playing, to pitching, because you know in the back of your mind, all right, so I have a little leeway.
Yep.
If I do give up a run or 2 here, it's okay. But so it'd be very important for them if they can get this runner that's on second around here and score 2, give them a 2-point lead.
Yep. Shields has been pitching pretty well thus far. That last pitch caught the outer half, in for a strike, so 2-1 now the count. That one misses outside, 3-1 now the count.
Yeah, you can tell Begg's not herself today. She's looking, pitcher's looking very sloppy, if I must say so myself.
And she's got just the 1 loss on the season. We talked about she's only given up 5 earned runs in 72 innings pitched this season, so she has been dominant to say the least. But not today. The Lady Hornets, this team starting to live up to those expectations of winning the 4th MEAC North title in a row. And trying to get the series win here in the rubber match.
Big 3-2 count here, Chris.
And Barry checks her swing, but will not stop from going around. Strikeout, but a big inning for the Hornets. They get 3 runs on 3 hits, including the home run from Kalia Flournery. And now we will head to the 4th inning. Hornets now on top, score 3-2. So getting ready for the top half of the 4th inning. We'll show you how we got here the last inning. There's Velez's double over the center fielder's head. Catherine Vosper. And Casey able to score all the way from first with 2 outs. Runners moving on the pitch, or on contact. And you see here Velez with the stroke. And both runners scored, and now the Hornets up 3-2. But Morgan State not 7-1 in the conference for no reason. This is a very deep lineup. Hannah Shields has to continue to pitch the way she has. She's pitched to contact. She does not have a strikeout yet in this game, but she's gotten plenty of ground ball outs, worked her way through contact.
Which are equally important.
Yeah.
If I was a pitcher, I'd rather throw one or two pitches and get a ground out back to me instead of having to throw 3, 4, 5, or 6 and getting a strikeout. So see if she can stay sharp here and protect this lead for the Lady Hornets.
Catcher Laura will step in for Morgan State. That one misses outside for ball 1. Laura hitting now over 200 on the season. She had a single in her last at-bat. And this one grounded to the right side. And it's going to get away from Melgoza. Little miscommunication there. Cummings went for it, then backed off of it, and Melgoza bobbles it. And so an error on Melgoza. And that will lead off hitter on for Morgan State. And now Danielle Pitpit. She hit a ball last at bat hard between Michaela Cummings' legs. And it led to the second run for Morgan State. This time she'll lay down the bunt. Cummings fields, throws to Melgoza for the first out.
Yeah, I saw that bunt coming there. I don't think Morgan wanted to risk another grounder back to the pitcher there, risk a double play.
Yeah.
And so smart there, smart technique, tactic there, getting the bunt down, moving the runner in the scoring position.
So Michaela Browdy will step in for Morgan State. Browdy hitting .250 on the season. 3 RBIs, just 1 double. So 1 down here in the top half of the 4th inning. Browdy will step in. Hornets, the new owners of a 3-2 lead here. And Browdy squares around the bunt.
Yeah, just nicked her on the way back up.
Yeah, they're going to say she was in the box, I believe. They'll say she was in the box, so it's a foul ball.
Good call by the ump there.
And you saw those banners over there in right field. Hornets back in 2008 won the MEAC tournament, went to regionals. This one misses high and out of the zone. And despite winning the MEAC North regular season title the last 3 years, I've not been able to get there since that 2008 season. That one misses outside for ball 2. But again, Hannah Shields having a very good game to this point, giving up just the 2 runs, one of them unearned on the error at first base by Cummings. This one fouled back. And a great effort there from Moreno behind the plate, dove into the fence.
Almost got it there. Can't be mad at that effort.
No,
Can't
absolutely
be at
not.
all. Yeah.
And she gets up and appears to be okay. So it will go as a strike, 2-2 the count. But again, Shields not had a great season. Has Hannah Shields, just a freshman though, out of State College, Pennsylvania. And this one down the first base line. Cummings makes the play. And so the runner will move over to third base.
Now batting for the Bears, Stormy Zizek.
So you do have 2 outs now on the inning, but you do have a runner in third, so she has to be very, very careful here what she does with this batter, because anything outside of a hit here will bring the runner on third home, and we'll tie the game up 3-3.
Stormy Zizek stepping in, still looking for his first hit of the season. She skies this one over to third base, and it is Danny Velez over to make the play. So that will end the top half of the fourth inning. We'll head to the bottom half. It's going to be Khalid Berry leading off the inning for the Lady Hornets, up 3-2. Bottom half of the fourth inning set to get underway. Want to make a quick correction. I said Khalid Berry would lead off the inning. But it's actually Michaela Cummings, the 9-hitter. So 9-1-2 for the Hornets. And now an opportunity to try and grow this lead.
Let's see if Beck made any adjustments. Starts off with another high pitch in the zone. She's had a lot of those so far this game. Not as sharp as she's used to being. Let's see if the Hornets can take some more capitalize.
Cummings flies this one in a shallow left field. Play made in left by Zizek. And so Cummings, a fly out to right and a fly out to left. And that will take us to the top of the lineup. Jasmine Melgoza had a single in her first at-bat, and she popped up to third base last time. This one in for strike one. Seven-inning ball game here. Collegiate softball, so halfway through. Begg will step off. That one misses high and out of the zone for ball one. And so Delaware State after this one nubbed foul, and Melgoza put a ton of spin on that one. It was foul, spun its way back into fair play, and she did not get out of the box quickly thinking it was going to be a foul ball, and ends up an easy ground ball.
Yeah, that one came off her bat pretty weird. It looked foul to me, and then all of a sudden took a sharp turn back or curve back into fair territory, resulting in an easy out for the Bears.
And this one chopped to third. Throw across. Quarles with a ground out to third. And so 1-2-3 inning for the Hornets. We will head to the top half of the fifth inning. Score still 3-2. Delaware State on top.
So she pitched 3 innings in the game yesterday, and then 8. So 11 innings yesterday. So
Who is it? 33 for 10.
Now pitch hitting for Morgan State, Haley Bobos.
Haley Bobos will step in for Caitlin Williams and lead off the top half of the 5th inning. Bobos a 280 hitter on the season. This one catches the inner half for a strike. Bobos just 2 RBIs on the season. Appeared in 15 games. This one
It's a strike because she swung. So get back here. You swung. It's a strike.
she swung. That's
yeah, this one hits her, but she swung, so it's going to be strike 2. And Bobos, again, this is her 15th appearance in a game this season. The freshman out of Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania.
That one had a little zip on it, as you can see. She has to take a step out of the box and get herself together before she steps back in. That one looks like it caught her forearm.
And those never feel good, especially there's
No.
nothing soft about a softball.
No.
That
And as you know, they're much more surface area than a baseball, so
Yeah.
it's much easier for you to get hit.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so the umpire giving Bobos a second to get her arm stretched out. But she will step back in. Shields delivers a slider up and out of the zone for ball 2. That'll even the count at 2-2. Season winding down for both teams. That one over the outer half just misses.
I don't know about that one, Chris. Looked like a strike to me. Looked like that one caught the outer right corner.
Yeah. I'm sure Shields would agree with you, but the umpire doesn't. That's what matters. This one grounded to third base. Velez bobbles it, but able to hang on to it and make the play. And so Bobos comes in and grounds out to third. And so back to the top of the lineup we go. Damali Young will step in for Morgan State. She's grounded out to the pitcher and had a base knock earlier in the ball game.
Shield's still sharp here, looking pretty good headed into the top of the 5th.
That one misses outside. But looking at the remaining schedule for both teams, the Hornets, after today, they've gotten more games in than most teams, obviously with the little bit of rough weather we had earlier in the season. Some teams struggled as this one grounded, rolled over to third base. Young grounds out to second. And so for the Hornets this Wednesday, they will host Maryland Eastern Shore at 4 o'clock. And then this weekend, they've got a weekend series against Howard. 3 games, a doubleheader on Saturday and 1 on Sunday. And then next Tuesday, April the 25th, they will have a doubleheader down at Towson University. And then 2 games here against in-state rival Delaware. And then they head to Easton, Pennsylvania for a doubleheader against Lafayette. And that will conclude their season. Well, their regular season anyway. Then they will head down south to Florida for the MEAC tournament. But, you know, just looking at what's ahead for Delaware State, they've got 4 more conference games after this one today. Maryland Eastern Shore, who's 4-6 in the conference. And then they've got the weekend series against Howard. Howard 1-9 in conference, 1-25 on the season. So next weekend, a big opportunity for this Lady Hornets team to get a sweep and really kind of make themselves, to use a golf term, be the leader in the clubhouse. I mean, if they can win today, beat Maryland Eastern Shore, they've got a chance to get in. I believe if my math is right, that would be 13-4, 14-4 in the conference, which is a very good record, a very respectable record. So if they can get this win today, that would be a great opportunity, like I said, with next weekend coming up, to sweep the rest of the season in the MEAC.
Right, and I'm taking a look at Morgan State's schedule here because obviously Del State's chasing them for the first place in the conference. They have a remainder of 9 games in the conference left, 3 at UMES, the April 22nd, doubleheader on the 22nd, and a game on the 23rd, then a weekend series at Coppin State, and then they close the series out at Hampton. So that's a possibility that they could lose that first place spot in the conference if they don't finish strong here, especially with a loss today here at Delaware State.
Catherine Vosper was walked, and now Alvarez will step in. Adriana Alvarez will step in for Morgan State, count 1-1. And this one grounded through the left side for a base hit. And so now Morgan State trying to get a little 2-out rally of their own going here in the top half of the 5th inning. And now Anissa Morales will step in. She has grounded out back to the pitcher and grounded out to shortstop.
So Shields now giving up a single to left field and a walk consecutively. Let's see if she can gain some composure, get this last hitter out, get out of the top of the 5th without giving any runs.
Got to bear down here right now if you want to hang on to this lead. Shields delivered this one, grounded softly up the middle. Melgoza can't get there. It gets into center field. That's going to tie the game.
Second error that's allowed some runs to come in for Morgan today. Just unfortunate for the Lady Hornets.
Yeah, I don't know that Melgoza would have gotten anybody out. Maybe
she
could have
might
had
have got the one at second. Maybe, you never know.
Had she gotten it, the run wouldn't have scored. It would, they would still have the opportunity to get out of this inning without a run. And instead, run scores. And just like that, a brand new ball game here. And a runner on third for Morgan State. So they are not done. Corinna Lara in for Morgan State. She's got a single and reached via the air today. And 1-0 the count. This one in for a strike.
It's interesting to think what this game would look like if the Hornets got those bats moving like they did in the 3rd as they did in the 1st when they had
the
bases loaded. Yeah, it would have been very, very interesting.
Yep. This one misses outside. The runner at first, Morales, steals second, and that's a tough play there, with the base paths being short. If Moreno decides to make the throw to second base and doesn't get her, runner on third, Vosper could end up scoring. That one misses inside. That will run the count to 3-1. And now Shields, we've talked about Begg and her struggles. Now Shields, it's time, for her to bear down, settle in. This is a big out.
Yeah, definitely. Now that you have 2 runners in scoring position instead of just the one, you got runners on second and third.
This one chopped shortstop, and it takes a funny hop. 1 run scores. State will send the second one. She will score. And 2 more unearned runs will come home for Morgan State.
Yeah, if you're the Hornets here, you got to be thinking bear down on the errors because that's really what's allowed Morgan State to get their runs to come in today. I'd say 4 of the 5 that they have came off of the errors.
And so a 3-run inning so far here in the top half of the fifth for Morgan State to give themselves a 2-run lead. And just as we were talking about the Hornets maybe getting a win today and closing out their MEAC regular season with what would have been 6 straight wins, now they're going to have to work just to get out of this one with a win. And that one.
Well, first they want to get out of this inning because got the 2 outs very sort of quickly, and then we have 3 runs scored and with the 2 outs, just as they scored their 3 runs with the 2 outs. So a little back and forth here between the 2 teams.
And Flournoy, though, that was a tough hop. It was kind of chopping, and it had the top spin, so when it hit the ground that second time, it stayed on the ground, and Flournoy wasn't ready for it and hit her in the foot. Morgan State being very aggressive on the base paths. Both runs scored. And now Danielle Pitt in the box for Morgan State, and with a runner on first. That one in for a strike. And we ran down Delaware State's schedule, ran down Morgan State's remaining schedule for Hampton, them being the other 7-1 team in the conference. They've got UMES today. That game underway. This one lined to third base through Cummings' legs. Melgoza gets over, and she's got her. Great play by Jasmine Melgoza. Cummings knocked it down, and Melgoza got over, made the play.
Very smart play there. Looked like that might have been another.
Another error and another runner reaching. But Melgoza makes the play, and so we will head to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Morgan State with a 3-run top half takes a 5-3 lead.
Center fielder Mika Lumsden.
Mika Lumsden will lead off for the Hornets. And now the Hornets once again having to battle back, now down 5-3.
Interested to see how Begg battles here in the last 2 innings. She pitched in both games yesterday, 8 innings in.
Lumsden lines this one up the middle for a base knock.
She pitched 8 innings in the game that went into extras and then 3 in the second game.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see how she holds up in the last 2. And she's not off to a great start. Gave up a single to center field here. So let's see if the Hornets can get some runs going.
And now here comes Tay's favorite player, Kalia Flournoy. Homered over the left field fence in her last at bat. And this one hit hard to third base. Throw to second in time. And Flournery beats it out at first base to avoid the double play.
Yeah, fortunate for her, she broke out of the batter's box pretty quick. She was aware of what was going down.
Yeah.
She saw that there was a double play was
In the
good
making.
possibility, and
Yeah.
she got the first. So a good hustle there by Flournery.
Morgan State turned that about as quickly as you can. They were pretty quick on turning the double play. Just Flournery hustling down the baseline beats it out. And this one high out of the zone for ball one. And now the catcher Desiree Moreno will step in for Delaware State. And real quick, I was pointing out the rest of Hampton's schedule. They've got UMES today. The next weekend they will take on Coppin State in a weekend series as Moreno swings through that one for strike two. And then the following weekend they've got Norfolk State, and then as we said they close out their season against Morgan State.
So both teams that Delaware State are chasing in the MEAC North have some conference games left.
Yeah,
so.
they've got plenty more games than Delaware State do. Again, State has just 4 left following this one. But, you know, I'd like to say I think for me, and I don't know if you would agree, but Hampton's got 1 loss. Morgan State's got 1. I think it's imperative Delaware State wins out if they're going to have any chance. If they end up in a tie with Hampton, Hampton won the season series 2-1, so they would have the tiebreaker. If they win today, they would at least have the tiebreaker over Morgan State, should there be a tie. But I think it's imperative that this team ends up with just the 4 losses they have.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think they have any more breathing room to lose any more conference games than they have already.
So 2-2 now, the count to Moreno. And she swings at the high fastball out of the zone for strike 3.
Batting for the Hornets, designated player Jordan Casey.
And now Jordan Casey will step in for the Hornets. She got walked in her last at-bat.
Casey, our freshman out of Fredericksburg, Virginia, excuse me.
And she takes ball 1. Hitting 180 on the season on her freshman campaign. And she scored a run today. The Velez double drove her in. So the Hornets would love to get Casey on here and have Velez up 2 for 2 today. She's got a single and a double. So if anybody's seeing Amy Bagwell, it's Danny Velez.
Yeah, that's what you want to do. You want to get your hitters that are hot. You want to get them at bat with hitters or with runners on base.
1-1 pitch up out of the zone, but Casey swings through it for strike 2. So now 1-2 the count. Hornets running out of outs. And again, against one of the best pitchers in the conference in Amy Begg. Down 2 runs here with 2 down in the bottom half of the 5th inning. And this one driven into left center field. That one's going to get down in the gap. Flournery's on her horse. She's going to have to hustle to score. She will stand up safely. Jordan Casey, an RBI double with 2 down to cut the lead to 1.
Looks like our Hornets are in love with scoring these runs when there's 2 outs left. I can't complain. We're scores 4-5. Let's see if we got a runner in scoring position. Let's see if Velez can bring this runner home, tie this game up.
And a mistake pitch from Amy Begg. 2 strikes, 1-2 the count. And Begg a hanger right down the middle, and Casey put a great swing on it, drives it in the left center gap.
Throw a beach ball, as they say.
And so Flournery's hustle to beat out the double play pays off. And now Morgan State going to intentionally walk Danny Velez. And I can't say I blame him. She's got the single, she's got the RBI double, and with Kaylee Berry on deck, 2 strikeouts today. So Berry,
Barry, a freshman out of Central Virginia. No home runs, no RBIs on the season. She's going to have a runner on first and second. So big opportunity for her to get her first RBI of the season, and it will be important here. A very big RBI for her.
Yeah,
So
it would be a
let's see
big
if
one.
yeah.
Not just for the game, but for
the
the season.
season, yeah.
We've talked about, they're in need of winning this one. This is an important, much more important for the Hornets than the Lady Bears. But it's Khalid Berry. 2 down here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And she takes that one outside for ball 1.
Oh, that's where we are.
But back then they got 3 in the 5th. They got 3, not 4. Can you take the
Oh, wait, yeah.
All right.
All right,
1-0
gotcha.
the count. That one up and out of the zone for ball 2. Should we get there, it's Michaela Cummings on deck. She's flown out to left and right field in this one. And Barry now a 2-0 count. The exact count you look for when you step in the batter's box. And thought about swinging, but lets it go by. 2-1 the count. And again, the Hornets certainly raising the ERA of Amy Begg today. Just a .63 ERA. This one fouled back. Begg had a .63 ERA coming in to the game today. Obviously, that's going to change with the 4 runs scored for the Lady Hornets, and
Yeah, they're lighting her up today.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
relatively speaking,
Yeah.
4
Yeah,
runs
for what
for
her
what she's
ERA
done this
is,
season.
yeah.
And so 2-2 now. Count back to even. Barry takes this one. Strikes out looking. Barry thought it was up and out of the zone. But the Hornets leave 2 on, but they get a run, cut the lead back to 1. The score 5-4. Morgan State on top as we head to the 6th inning.
play coming up to you? 3, 2, 1.
Target is that shopping center to the right. There's a hair store right there. It's like a black hair store. Yeah, there's a black hair store. Because there's like salads. Yeah, no, not salads. Not salads. Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. Yeah, I've been there. They have like,
Chinese is black hair store.
yeah, they have like the black hair. Like, you know what I'm saying? They have
Setting scoreboard. Pressure back in 3, 2, 1.
Michaela Browdy leading off the top half of the 6th inning. Takes ball 1 outside. Grounds the second pitch through the left side, but Flournery gets there but not able to make a play. So that will be an infield single for Browdy.
Lady Hornets having a little trouble today fielding some grounders.
Yeah.
They're coming off hot, but you expect your infielders to be able to take care of what normally is routine. But I want to see how Shields protects his 1-run lead here going into the 6th. You don't want to give up any more runs. Let Morgan State increase their lead, put a little bit more pressure on your batters to score more runs. So I'm interested to see what she does here, how she holds up.
Yeah, it's a shutdown inning for Hannah Shields, no doubt about it. You know, offense was able to get one back there in the bottom half of the 5th inning, cut into the lead, and you want to get them quickly back into the dugout and back hitting. And pinch runner for Morgan State. Number 23, Brianna Jones, will run for Michaela Browdy. And Zizek will take ball one. 5-4 the score here, top of the 6th in Dover, Delaware. If you're just joining us, Morgan State jumped out to a 2-0 lead after the top half of the 3rd inning, but the Hornets then in the bottom half of that 3rd inning got things going. Tay called a Kalia Flournery home run. Sure enough, she drove it over the left field fence. And then a walk and a single and a 2 RBI double by Danny Velez put the Hornets on top 3-2. And then Morgan State in the top of the 5th inning scored 3 runs on a couple of errors and a couple of hits. And then just last inning, the Hornets had a 2-out double from Jordan Casey to cut the lead back to 1. So that's how we've got here to score 5-4, top of the 6th inning. Runner on first. And Stormy Zizek at bat, 3-1 the count. She takes strike 2.
Let's
Go ahead.
Let's see which pitch she throws here. See if she tries to get a strikeout, or see if she can even get a grounder back to her like she had a couple times before in the game.
Yeah.
See if we can turn a double play here and get both the runners out.
Zizek still looking for her first hit on the season, and she fouls that one away. Zizek again. This just her 5th appearance this season, so hasn't had a ton of opportunities to get that first hit, and she fouls that one off. She the freshman sophomore out of Alexandria, Virginia. Shields delivered. This one fouled off the foot of Zizek. And she goes to the ground. She'll get up.
I heard those do not feel good at all.
No. No, they're not fun. I was fortunate in my playing career. I only had it happen once or twice. But no, they can. You've seen plenty of guys in the big leagues have seasons end or at least have several weeks off from a foul ball off the foot, shin, ankle, anything like that. And Zizek caught one there, but she's going to stay in. Make sure she's all right, and so we are good to go. Count still full. Zizek's fouled off a few 2-strike pitches. Brianna Jones, the runner at first. Shields delivers this one up and out of the zone for ball 4.
Good pitch there. Just missed by a hair. Catcher's going to go out and go talk to her. Whole team is.
Shields wanted the call but didn't get it, and so now you've got runners on first and second with nobody out. What are you saying to your pitcher right now? Obviously, it doesn't look like she's going anywhere.
Right. I just tell her to relax. I mean, you're only down by 1. You don't want to, stress it, throw something that try to do too much, give up many more runs, especially now you have 2 runners on base. Keep the lead to where it is now. Relax. Just throw how you throw and let it come to you. And hopefully you don't give up any more runs.
Well, good advice, Coach. I like it. So, again, Hornets down 5-4. Now runners have runners on first and second with nobody out. And it's going to be Caitlin Williams at bat for the Lady Bears. She didn't hit last time. Haley Bobo's hit for her and grounded out to third base. But Williams will hit this time. She flew out to right field in her first at-bat. Williams playing third for Morgan State.
Bears, third baseman Caitlin Williams.
And so Morgan State trying to. This one gets away from the catcher.
Delaware State continuing to have some
fielding,
bad luck.
Yeah.
And with the wild throws.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't look like a pitch that would have been too tough for Moreno to handle. But it came off of Moreno, hit the umpire. And so now coach is talking with Kaylin Williams and the Delaware State athletic trainer coming over to make sure the umpire's okay. But Williams was squared around the bunt, so they were going to try and just have her lay the bunt down and get the runners over to second and third anyway.
Right.
And now they're there, and Kaylin Williams is going to have an opportunity to swing away and try and drive this run in. These 2 runs in.
I think what it was, Moreno saw that the bunt wasn't going to get down, and she was worried about getting the throw over to third, and she wasn't really focused on catching the pitch first and then getting it out. She tried to.
Trying to throw before you catch. Shields delivers this one. Going to get down in the left center gap. 1 run will score. They will hold up Zyzek at third base, but a run scores. Williams stands up at second base with an RBI double. And so still nobody out here in the top half of the 6th inning. An opportunity for Morgan State now to blow this game open. Damali Young will step in. 2 on in scoring position, and this one hits her.
Well, that's certainly not good. Now we got the bases loaded here. No outs.
Nowhere to go for Young on that one, just
Yeah.
right in the middle of her back. She bent down and actually got it up right around that. It looked like the shoulder area.
Shoulder, neck area, yeah.
But they walk with her first base. She's okay. And so that will load the bases now for Catherine Vosper, who's got a double. She's reached on an error and was walked today. So Vosper hitting over 400 on the season.
450 to be exact. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's.
And now she's in with the bases loaded, nobody out. So Morgan State really trying to put this one driven down the right field line, and it's foul. That one had a chance.
That was close.
That very well could have cleared the bases had it gotten down in fair play. But just a long strike. 1-1 to count. Shields really trying to grind her way through this inning, and this one, a soft line drive to the shortstop Flournery.
Got to start and got 1 out. She's 1/3 of the way there. Let's see if she can get the other 2 without allowing any more runs in.
But she's far from out of the woods yet. Adriana Alvarez stepping in. She a .346 hitter. 10 RBIs and a home run on the season. And Shields paints the outside corner for strike 1. One down here, Lady Hornets clinging to life in this ball game. Bases loaded, 1 out. Down 2 runs, a great pitch there on the outer half. Alvarez swings through it. But again, a 2-run deficit. Bases are loaded. Top half of the 6th inning. This one just misses down out of the zone for ball 1.
Looked like a strike to me, Chris.
One and two. Shields delivers a little changeup. And Alvarez fights it off. So still 1-2 the count. Excuse me. Shields winds up and delivers this one high out of the zone for ball 2. 2-2 the count with one out here. Top half of the sixth inning. That one in for strike three. Alvarez goes down looking. And so this had an ugly forecast just about 5 minutes ago, and now all of a sudden the Hornets have an opportunity to get out of it with just the one run allowed.
Yeah, you can't be mad at that at all. Bases loaded. And she's dealing right now. Let's see if she can get this last out.
Morales singled in her last at bat. She's grounded out twice. But nowhere to put her for Shields. 1-0 the count. Hornets have 9-1-2 due up in the bottom half. Michaela Cummings and then the top of the lineup as Shields delivers a strike. Again, this is the rubber match of the weekend series. Two teams played yesterday and split. And this one skied to third base. Play made by Danny Velez. And how about it, Tay? Bases loaded with nobody out.
Great close to the end there by Shields. Protected the well, I won't say protected, but she minimized the damage there.
Yep.
This is easily erasable lead for the Hornets here, but this is big bottom of the inning here. Let's see how the batters, like you said, we got the bottom of the order, got Cummings up, and then the top of the order. So we'll see how the Delaware State Hornets batters get around to closing this lead up.
9-1-2 due up in the bottom half of the sixth inning. I thought that was going to be a lot. Bottom half of the sixth inning, Michaela Cummings will lead it off. And before this game's over, just wanted to touch on this. Obviously, two HBCU schools going at it here today. And in Major League Baseball, it's Jackie Robinson Day. Everybody in the major leagues wearing number 42 to honor and commemorate Jackie Robinson. As Cummings flies this one to center field, Vosper able to get underneath of it. But Tay, real quick, I know you're not a big baseball guy, but you don't have to be a baseball guy to appreciate Jackie Robinson.
Of course not. Yeah, as everybody knows, Jackie Robinson, the first African American in the major leagues, but he didn't just open up doors for just African Americans. He opened up for all minorities.
Yeah.
If you look at the way the MLB is shaped today, we have Dominican players, African American players, face of the league pretty much, just a mixture of everybody. So he opened up doors for just about everyone, not just African Americans. So. Great player. I've read stories. Like you said, I'm not a big baseball guy, but when you have someone that's of that caliber with that legacy and that impact on the game, you just have to read about him. So I've read stories, and just a tremendous baseball player. Much respect to Jackie Robinson.
First African-American player in baseball, and he was inducted into the Hall of Fame on July 23rd, 1962. As Malgoza flies out to left field, Isaac gets over and makes the play. And so, not the start to the inning the Hornets were looking for, but we've seen this before, 2 outs. This is when they've shined so far in this game. All 4 runs have come with 2 outs.
Right.
Sabrina Quarles will step in for the Lady Hornets. takes this one for strike one. Lady Hornets running out of outs. 2 down here in the 6th inning. And down 2 runs. Begg misses with this one out of the zone for ball 1. Begg winds up and delivers. Another one high out of the zone. You've talked about it a few times today. She really has. She's been a little wild, and her misses have all really been up.
Yeah. Dollar says their batters have done a good job not chasing it up in the zone. She's caught them a couple of times, but for the most part, I'd say about 25-30% of her pitches have missed high, and they've done a good job staying disciplined and not chasing them. So.
Begg doesn't miss with that one. That one's in the zone. 2-2 the count now, 2 down. Morgan State looking for a quick bottom half of the 6th inning. This one grounded left side off of the glove of Williams. Hard hit.
That's what you
by
like to
Quarles.
see there. Any way you can get it, right?
Yeah, that's going to be an infield single.
And it's important to just get a runner on base.
What do you know? 2 outs.
Started something good, hopefully. Let's see what we got here.
Lumsden will step in for the Lady Hornets. She had a hit in her last at-bat.
Hornets' best 2 hitters up here. See if they can get something going.
Lumsden up and Flournery on deck.
I think I might be feeling another Flournery home run here, but I'm not sure yet. I'm not just sure yet. I'll let you know when she gets up the bat. Yeah,
wait till she comes up till we get the vibe.
Yeah.
Well, if she comes up this inning, she'll have an opportunity to put the Hornets out in front. If she's able to connect on her second of the game. But she's hit 2 in the season. I think you're asking a lot of her to match her season total today.
I feel like she might be able to do it today.
1-1 the count to Lumsden. Beggs delivers up and out of the zone. Lumsden 2 for 3 today. She's got 2 singles and a ground out to second base. And then the man Tay's talking about, Kalia Flournery. 2 fielders' choices, but in between them, the home run in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. And Lumsden takes that one outside for ball 3. So 3-1 now to Micah Lumsden. And Lumsden, a .297 hitter. She's got 2 home runs on the season and 7 doubles. And in a hitter's count here. And drives this one over the head of the second baseman into right field for a base knock.
Great play there by the right fielder. She did save. I don't think base runner would have got home, but she at least got into third. She did a good job of stopping it, not allowing the ball to get behind her, getting it back into play.
So Lumsden, her 3rd hit of the day now. She's 3 for 4. Quarles, as Tay said, held up at second base, but now 2 outs. And Kalia Flournery up to bat, hitting .280 on the season. And this one right down the middle. Flournery takes it for strike 1.
I'm feeling the extra base here. I don't know about a home run, but I'm feeling the extra base here. Let's see what she gives us.
You know, some would argue that that's more of a jinx. And normally I would, but it worked well earlier.
Hey, I mean, don't fix it if it ain't broken, you know.
And Flournery fouls this 2-strike pitch back. So now 0-2 to Flournery. 2 outs here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Maybe the best opportunity the Hornets are going to get. And this one just misses outside.
Whole Morgan team was ready to go to the dugout on that one.
Yeah, catcher Laura was definitely thinking that was the end of the inning. But Flournery staying alive now, 1-2 as Begg goes into her windup. Delivers this one, a slider swings through Flournery. strikes out, and so the Hornets leave 2 on, get 2 hits in the inning, but come up empty. We'll head to the last inning, top of the 7th. Morgan State on top, 6-4.
Chris will take your back in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Top of the 7th inning. Morgan State up 2 runs, going to try and grow that lead a little bit. Corinna Laura will lead off for Morgan State.
Leading off catcher, Karina Laura.
And she takes strike 1. And coach saw something he didn't like or did like or something and wants to let Laura know. And so that conversation concludes. And Hannah Shields, very important. We talk about, we were just talking about in the break, Hornets have Desiree Moreno, who's got 4 home runs this season, and she had a hit earlier today. Jordan Casey, who pinch hit earlier in the game. She's walked and doubled. And then Danny Velez, who's got a single, a double, as Laura grounds this one to second base. Play made by Malgoza. And Velez was intentionally walked in her last at-bat. So the Hornets have a pretty strong part of the order up on the bottom half of the 7th inning, but Shields has gotta keep this run or this lead at just 2 for Morgan State.
Right, keep it small, keep it because 2-run lead. You've seen the Hornets score. They scored 3 in the bottom of the 3rd, so it's very possible for them to erase this lead. But they got to take care of business here in first and keep the lead to 2.
So Danielle Pitt in for Morgan State as she lines this one foul down the right field line. 0-2 the count to her. She's 0 for 2 today. She reached on an error and put down a sacrifice bunt earlier in the game. But again, now down 0-2. Shields will wind and deliver. Slider misses out of the zone. But Shields, the scoreboard says she's given up 6 runs, but her defense has really kind of let her down today. She's really pitched a quality game for the Lady Hornets.
Yeah, I would agree. I've counted about 4. I'd say about 4 of the runs on the board for Morgan State came from errors.
Yeah.
So I'd say, yeah, I'd agree with you. Shields, a freshman out of State College, Pennsylvania. So I would be optimistic if I was coach or a fan of Delaware State softball, because
as Shields get Pitt to ground to third base, Velez makes the play.
But like I was saying, yeah, she's been solid so far. Been pretty solid this season as a freshman. So it's definitely something to build on within the program.
Yeah, he said, and as a freshman, you come in here to this team that's won their division 3 straight years and picked to win a 4th. And, you've emerged as one of the top 2 pitchers for the team, it can be a little bit of pressure. And so she's began to settle in. She's gotten better as the season has gone along, which is exactly what you look for out of your young players.
Definitely.
And so she's done that for the Lady Hornets. And like we said, has pitched a pretty good game thus far. And this changeup misses inside, I'm going to guess. But that will run the count to 2-0. Up and out of the zone. So 3-0 now to Browdy. This one misses down.
4 straight balls there for Shields.
I don't think she liked at least one of those calls.
I'd say about maybe 2 or 3 of them, actually. I didn't like a couple of them myself.
Stormy Isaac.
So Stormy Isaac now will step in the box. And Shields delivers the first pitch in the zone. And Isaac popped out to third base, grounded out to second, and she walked in her last at bat. Here, a slow curveball, Isaac way out in front. And that will run the count to 0-2. That one misses for ball 1. Michaela Browdy, the runner on first.
Both teams gotten very comfortable when there's 2 outs left in the inning.
Yeah.
So it's very important for Shields to get this out here.
Isaac.
That's exactly what she did.
Not going to get her first hit of the season there. Right fielder Sabrina Quarles comes in, makes the play. That will do it. We'll head to the last half of the 7th. Hornets down 2.
One last chance to get this win.
Desiree Moreno will lead it off when we come back.
Hornet fans, don't forget we have a makeup game against UMES this Wednesday, starting at 4 p.m. here at the Hornets Nest. So mark your schedule, mark your calendar for our makeup game against UMES this Wednesday at 4 p.m.
Camera crew back to him. Chris, take it back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Bottom of the 7th inning. Last chance for the Lady Hornets here in the rubber match. Morgan State up 6-4. Two teams had a doubleheader yesterday. Morgan State won the first one 2-1 in 8 innings. Second one, Delaware State won 9-8 after a 6-run 6th inning. And now today, down 6-4. And it's going to be Desiree Moreno to lead it off for the Lady Hornets. She'll take ball 1 up and out of the zone. Moreno 1 for 3 today. She's got a single. She struck out once and popped out to the shortstop. And on deck for the Lady Hornets, Jordan Casey. She's got a walk and a double. Pinch hit for Vanessa Washington earlier in the game. Moreno takes ball 2. So Hornets have a strong part of the lineup up. We talked about it in the last half. Strong part of the lineup to try and get this done. And Begg doesn't like that call. That one misses 3-0 now to Velez.
If they want to erase this two-run lead, now it's the perfect time to get it started.
It's the only time to get it started.
Well, yeah, definitely. You're right. But if they wanted to, if you had to pick any spot in the lineup to be in this situation with, this would be one of the ones that they would like.
Yep. So Moreno takes strike 1 after the count went to 3-0. It's 3-1. Great hitters count for Moreno. And she swings at this one, and it's foul. Good break for the Lady Hornets. Moreno was going to be thrown out at first base, but the home plate umpire all over it. Just bounced foul. And so the count will run full for Desiree Moreno. Moreno, the catcher, hitting .293, 4 home runs on the season for the Lady Hornets. And swings this one right back to Begg. She'll take her time, set, and fire. So 1 out here in the 7th inning. Had the ideal scenario, had the count 3-0. And a good job there from Begg to battle back, get it full. And Moreno couldn't take advantage.
She hasn't been as sharp as she usually is today. Still held, where I say, the 4 runs today. She's looking to close them out here at the bottom of the 7th.
Trying to win without her best. Should Morgan State finish this one off, Amy Begg would move to 10-1 on the season. That one misses high out of the zone. 1-1 the count to Casey. One down here in the bottom of the 7th inning. That one misses down and out of the zone. Morgan State 7-1 in the MEAC, trying to go to 8-1, keep pace with the Hampton Pirates, the 2 teams at the top of the MEAC North. Trying to get one of those 1 seeds heading into the MEAC tournament. This one, Casey skies it into left field.
That's 2 down for the Hornets. They're down to 1 more out. It pains me to have to go back to this, but I'm still thinking about that bases loaded that they left up in the
first inning.
It's paining me to think about. They didn't get any runs out of that situation, and it's coming back to haunt them here. They're down 2 in the bottom of the 7th, and only 1 out to go.
Yep, had the bases loaded with 1 out. Malgoza led off that inning with a single, Quarles with a sac bunt. This one flown in the center field. Vosberg getting over. She'll make the play. And Morgan State will come into Delaware State to Dover, Delaware, and get a 6-4 win today and a series win. They take 2 out of 3. Morgan State goes to 8-1 in the conference. Delaware State drops to 9-5. And likely now battling for 3rd. Their chances at winning the MEAC North are probably done after the loss today.
Yeah, unfortunately, like we had just mentioned a couple minutes ago, they had some opportunities to win this game, just couldn't bring the batters in, the runners in when they needed to, and a couple of unnecessary errors in the infield led Morgan to score 6 runs, and they just weren't able to score more.
So Delaware State, as we said, they've got a makeup game this Wednesday against Maryland Eastern Shore at 12 o'clock. And then this weekend, This coming weekend, they'll take on Howard for a season series, and then Towson, Delaware, and Lafayette to round out the regular season for the Lady Hornets. And then May 10th begins the MEAC Conference Tournament. But that'll do it for us today. Again, final score, Morgan State 6, Delaware State 4. I'm Chris Moore. As for Tay Calloway, for all of us here at WDSU-TV, we thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.